What's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film Speak No Evil. Now this is a psychological horror film and it is also a remake of the 2022 Danish film of the same name. Now this particular film is directed by James Watkins, and you have James McBoy, and you also have Mackenzie Davis in the film as well. Now the film is about like this couple that are like vacationing like in Italy, and they come across like this couple, like a man and woman, and like they have a son because the man is played by James McBoy. And while vacationing in Italy, like the family, that's played by James McBoy. Yeah, the character known as Patty is played by James McAvoy, and you have Sierra, I think that's how you pronounce it. She's played by Aisling Francisca. I think that's how I pronounce it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of bad with names. But they actually invite the Daltons. Now the Daltons are played by you have Louise Dalton, who's played by Mackenzie Davis, and you also have Ben Dalton, who's played by Scott McNary. Now they are invited to come and spend the time up there at their farmhouse, which is like in this secluded like area, because they were already living in London anyway. But the character of Ben Dalton, he has like trouble, like I think producing like children, because he has like infidelity like issues. So he finds out that Louise was like cheating on him or something like that, and that's why they're having like relationship problems. But they also have like a daughter who's known as Agnes. Yeah, Agnes' daughter, like the little girl. Now she's played by Alex or Elise West. Now because she's also attached to like this toy that she has throughout the film that's known, I forget the name of it, but it's like this little toy like bear that she's like attached to throughout the film. But yeah, they invite the Daltons to come stay with them like at their like secluded like farmhouse, and this is like in London, so they leave Italy, But they were already living in London anyway, but that is where Sierra and Patty are living at, is in London. So they invite them over there, and once they get there, things start getting out of like hand, so they get to start seeing like a dark side of Patty, and so on. And I think he was played very well by James McAvoy. The way he played this particular like character was like very like sinister and like you don't know what he was gonna do, and it was even weird. Now another thing I was noticing about this film too as well, because I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to spoil the film. At times it does seem like it's kind of like a comedy at one point, because there's like a lot of moments, like a lot of stuff that goes on in like a lot of the lines or some of the scenes in the film are like hilarious, even when it's like scary and intense, but you can still tell it definitely is like a real scary and intense film, because as the film goes on, and I must admit I found it to be kind of predictable, but as it was going on you can see, like you can kind of eventually see what the outcome of the film was going to be. I was kind of already on point with like kind of predicting what was going to happen, and it turns out that I was right. But like I said, I can't really go into it too much because it would spoil the film. But I thought everybody was like pretty decent, like in their role. Like now there was certain things in the film that I thought was like it just went too far. Like like the usual type of stuff. Like how could they let this get away? How could this be like this? How could this happen? Just little stuff like that be in these kind of films that kind of keep them from like being elevated to like being like real good films. They just try to be like just decent films. Then you have the son of Patty and Sierra, Siri, and he's played by Dan Hugh. I think that's how you pronounce it. Now they call him Ant. Now apparently he has like this medical condition where he can't speak and he's kind of like sick like, because throughout the film you get to see how like rough Patty, like James McAvoy's character, is on him. Like he's always yelling at him, telling him to do this and that, like pushing him around, grabbing him and stuff like that. At one point he even pushes him in the water and so on, and you can tell that the boy can't drown. But as the story goes on, you can see that there's like a mystery with the boy known as Ant. And there's a reason why he really couldn't like talk or so. You can kind of glimpse what it is like in the trailers for this particular film. But yeah, it's still like a pretty I must admit I did enjoy it. Like the first or second nights I did like the pace of the film. It's like it's very nice to look at. Like the cinematography, really, like it has like a lot of mood in it, like the countryside and all. Even like the house itself, I like how it looks and stuff at times. Even like the vehicles that they drive in and so on. I thought all that kind of stuff was like filmed very well. Just the look of it, it felt like nice and like welcoming, But and there's also like another character that was in the film. I think he was Mike. I think that's how you pronounce his name. That they knew, that Patty and them knew. Because at one point, I think it was Mike, he invited them to their house to like for dinner and so on, so they got to meet him too. So he is like another character that's kind of in there besides like the main like cast, whatever. He's like another side person that does pop up in the film too as well. But yeah, as the film goes on, it becomes increasingly obvious that something is like wrong with like Patty and like his girl. You know, you can tell there's just something that's not right about them. Because at one point, like the Daltons and so on, they want to leave from there. They even try to leave at one point, but then they return back. You know, and so on. But yeah, like I said, I can't really go into it too much because it was spoiled. But the film can be, I must admit, I didn't really feel like too scared of it. It wasn't really like in the situations where it was really that tense. But it can be like bloody and violent too as well, even like sexual too at times. But it wasn't really like a moment I could say like it really like made you scared. And like the third act, like I said, it felt like it was just dragging on, and some of the stuff they was doing at that point I thought was like just like ridiculous. But overall, it was I must admit, I still thought it was a pretty solid film. It was better than I thought, you know, and I did see this like in the theaters too. Cause I know that the trailers for it made it look pretty good too as well. And I know this is from like Blumhouse too. So yeah, in the end, I thought it was still a pretty decent film. So I'm gonna give Speak No Evil. I kind of want to give it a C because like the third act of the film, but I'm going to just give it like a B minus. And I would definitely recommend it for the fans of these kind of films, you know. And like I said, it still is kind of predictable once it gets kind of where as the film was going on, I was kind of feeling and was noticing where it was going to lead to, you know. I can kind of see what was going to happen with the family and so on. But I'm going to just give this a B minus, and I would definitely recommend it, you know. So this is my review for Speak No Evil. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.